Hello, and welcome to another edition of Focus. I'm your host, Vernon Bolling. For over 4 decades, we've been bringing you various problems, concerns, as well as accomplishments that affect the African American community, and that's what we're going to continue to do. So we're happy to have you join us this morning for one of those shows where we're going to talk to some very important people about some very important topics. So don't touch that remote. We're going to be right back with this and more when Focus continues.
Here at the Audubon Center, we connect inner-city children with nature.
Before I came to Audubon, I didn't think about the environment.
I see children discovering a universe that wasn't available to them if this center wasn't here.
This place teaches you so much. If there wasn't a place like this, I think a lot of people would be missing out.
We count on the lottery to help us fund our programs for K through 12 students. We need more friends like the lottery in the community.
Theater in Phoenix. Now let me change that. Black theater in Phoenix. That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. We're doing some great things with theater in Phoenix. What makes it even more wonderful is when the person who is not only in a show, but writes the show. Exciting. And you're going to meet one of those people today. With me on Focus is Iris Huey. Iris, I am excited to have you on the show. I have been wanting to get you on the show since I saw your movie.
Thank you.
See, and what I didn't say is that what's really exciting is when the person is not only a playwright, but a filmmaker. And here we have a talented young woman who is rooted here in this city, who not only wrote a play that will be coming out, well actually it's been out, and now you're doing it again.
Correct.
But you also wrote a film.
Yes.
And I saw both. I saw the movie, I saw the play, and sister, I'm looking forward to Broadway with you.
Thank you.
So there's a whole lot of questions I have to ask. And one of them is about your process. I saw The Love Thing, which is your show, The Love Thing, and your movie was
Second Chance.
Second Chance. I wanted to say Third Chance because some people need that. But Second Chance. But let's go into the show.
Okay.
Because that's coming up this weekend.
Yes.
And I saw it when you had it out at the Black Theater or the Helen K. Mason Theater. It was so hilarious. How did you come up with that idea?
Well, this idea, actually, I started writing a similar show many, many years ago. And it was all about relationships. And it also involved poetry because I was heavy on the poetry scene back then. It was something that I actually decided to kind of put on the back burner because I was writing my feature film. And that's when I decided to just move forward with Second Chance. But, you know, fast forward years later, I started writing this show again. I wanted something that was uplifting, something that encouraged people to kind of do their best and to create their best, best relationships that they could. And you know, there's a lot of struggle when you're trying to improve your life and trying to improve things around you. And the struggle can be funny. And so I just started writing these stories, and that's how they came to life. You know, I just sit and I just think about, situations that could be comical. I just, sometimes I daydream, I just ponder, and, ideas, drop into my head. And from there, I create an outline, start adding in some dialogue, and it just goes from there.
So here you are, a librarian. Because that's how I knew you worked at the library.
Yes,
right?
I was actually a secretary.
Well, librarian, because you had exposure to all of the books, you knew the process.
True.
So you were a librarian, that's what I'm going to give to you. And you've done that for many years. You were right down there at Burton Bar Library. And now all of a sudden, you quit your job which is
Yes.
courageous, because a lot of folks won't do that. They won't quit their job to pursue their careers
Yes.
or pursue their passion. And you had the courage to quit your job, and now you are a full-time playwright and a full-time movie maker. And how does that feel?
Well, it feels great. You know, I for a long time, you know, I've been saying, okay, I really want to focus on doing what I want to do. And I'm always inspired by people who take a leap without knowing what's going to happen, without, you know, the certainty of, it's not really a leap, I'm just going to walk over here because this is already laid out for me. People who really, when people take a leap of faith, that I am just always so inspired. And I had never really taken a leap like that, you know, myself. And, you know, the job had gotten to a point where it was really time for me to go. I mean, it was clear, it was evident, I knew it was time to go. And so when I finally made the decision, even though there was uncertainty ahead, I felt total clarity and certain about the decision because it just felt right. I knew I was making the right decision for me to live my life so that my days are filled with what I wanted to be filled with.
Okay, now a lot of people are probably going to ask, or at least I'm sure that they want to know, how do you live?
Well, I recently quit my job, and so
So you don't know how you're gonna live.
Yeah, like right now, right now I am in that uncertainty mode. Like right now, things are not lined up yet. I am actually working on that plan right now. I'm working actively and daily. My plan is to tour this show and to make money with it. And
I can see that happening. Because I have to say, if you have not seen The Love Thing, wherever it is, whenever you hear that title, I suggest you run and get your tickets. I laughed from the beginning of the show to the end. Now, that's no... But no, I'm sure you didn't only hear me, because the entire audience was laughing from the beginning until the end. And that's Billy Ramsey that you're hearing in the background, and you're going to hear from him in a few moments. As a matter of fact, you're going to hear from several members of the cast in a few moments. I'm looking forward to that. But I laughed so hard. It was so real. And my first thought was, this piece needs to be on Broadway. Now, I'm from New York, and I've gone to many plays. As a matter of fact, every time I go home, I see another play. And I love theater in New York. This play should be on Broadway. How do we make that happen?
I don't know. That's the goal. That's the plan. I am definitely shooting for that. I was envisioning that earlier today as we were rehearsing. I want this to be as big as it can possibly be. You know, I want everyone to see it. I want people to look at it and laugh and grow. And so I'm ready to take it wherever it's possible to go.
Now, you also directed.
Yes.
And you directed your movie as well?
Yes.
So you're stepping into some pretty wonderful shoes here. You know, our sister Ava DuVernay, who just did Selma. You got Julie Dash. You got a whole lot of incredible sisters who have done some great works. How does it feel to be walking side by side with your sisters?
Well, it feels great. I mean, I look at Ava and I am blown away. I'm, pretty much wowed by her. I think it's amazing what she has been able to accomplish. You know, one day I will be there as well.
You're there. No one has heard your name. That's all. So you can't say one day you'll be there, because you are literally on that road. The difference is that they know her name. And they didn't know her name before Selma. True. Not very many people knew her name before Selma. Some folks knew. A lot of folks knew, but not on a massive scale. Same with Iris Huey. They don't know your name yet, but they will know your name. Now, I want to go back more into your process again. Okay. I know you said that you just kind of have thoughts flow through your mind and then you write them down. But what really inspires you? What motivates you? And what do you do?
Well, okay, one thing I'm very motivated by is relationships. I love talking about relationships. I love stories about relationships. I just love the different dynamics, there's just so many levels. There's so many places that you can go with relationships.
And both your pieces are on relationships. Second Chance is on relationships, and The Love Thing is on relationships.
Exactly. And so there's just there's so many different directions you can go. And I like to deal with the people individually, and I like to show how people have to grow and evolve in order to overcome whatever obstacle or circumstance they're experiencing in their relationship. So I love to create stories around that. And so usually when I am working on a story. I have a vision for what I want it to be, so I hold that vision in mind. I hold the idea of what I want to accomplish, whether I want to showcase this is about, communicating honestly. So I have that idea, and I just imagine different stories. I let, stories like that come to mind, and usually when something hits, usually what happens is I'll get various, story ideas, but when I get a story idea that comes with dialogue included, that's usually when I know it's the one.
So do you become each of the characters when you're writing?
Yes. Oh, yes. I was acting out all the roles when I was writing this. Definitely. Really? Yes. In fact, there's so many roles. I wish I could have played all of them, basically. The first one the show opens with was just Socks and Lingerie. For the first show, Divine played the part of the character that you'll see her, she kind of switches characters for each role that she plays. And for that particular one, I was like, oh man, I want to play both of these roles. So I was like, that's not possible. So I need to pick one. But yes, I definitely get involved, and because I want it to feel real. That's very important. I want it to feel real. And so I make sure that that it feels good, and when I'm acting it out, it feels real to me and natural. And then, I move forward from there.
So what happens when you feel, how do you know when it's ready? How do you know that this is ready for prime time? I'm ready to put this on the stage now.
You know what? I will be honest. There's times when I feel like, oh, this is definitely right. I like this. It's making me laugh. It feels good. It's just exactly what I need it to be. And then there's times where I'm like, I kind of like it, or I'll say I like it, but is this right, or how is this going to be perceived? Where I have doubt as far as whether people are going to like it or not, and then I only know from response, like feedback.
So don't go any further, because we're going to have to take a break right now. But when we come back, we'll have more with Iris Huey, and then you'll also meet some of the cast from The Love Thing. We'll be right back.
My name is Jay Rominger, and I'm a CASA volunteer here in the state of Arizona.
Jay has helped me in every part of my life.
CASA is a court-appointed special advocate. You advocate for children who have no one else to speak for them in court.
He's one of my top friends in the world.
He wants a family. He wants to be adopted. He wants a mom and a dad and normality.
It's really because of the Arizona Lottery funding that we are able to serve these children that need a voice, that need a Jay in their life.
What would you do if you had to choose between the buffalo and the giraffes? Between a flower or an elephant? What would you choose? What if you had to decide between a 100-year-old tree and a 1,000,000-year-old beach? Between drinking clean water or breathing clean air? Would you make the right choice? Would there be a right choice? Now there's a way to help. Not just one, but all these things. EarthShare, the world's leading environmental groups working together. It's one choice we can all live with. Ask your employer about workplace giving.
I know he's not doing what you want him to do, but if you two keep trying to one-up each other, you're only going to keep perpetuating the cycle.
Thanks for coming back. I'm Fatimah Halim, and with me today is Iris Huey, filmmaker, film writer, scriptwriter,
Yes.
playwright, actor, poet, just Renaissance woman. And we're talking about theater, needless to say, with the theater major right here. Now, one of the things that I wanted to know is, I mentioned that you were a librarian. You said you're a secretary. I say you're a librarian. And how did you say, I'm going to do movies. I'm going to write. I know it's because you like relationships, because are all your movies going to be on relationships? Or, how did you make that decision? And when did that happen?
Well, it happened, December 30th was my last day. And it
But
happened.
you knew that you were going to be, well, you wrote before that.
Yes, I've been writing, since I graduated from college. I've been writing and, consistently producing for a while now. And so it's always been a passion of mine, and it's always been, and for the last 7 years, because I worked there for 7 years, it's been something that I've been doing, on the side. And, I would say that just being there, being someplace where you don't want to be consistently day in and day out, for me, it really started having an effect on my self-esteem. It started really affecting how I felt about myself, because that's not how I saw myself. And I really wanted to start really living this life for me. I mean, life is short.
It is.
And
So you decided to
yes,
just pursue
it was
your
time for me
passion.
to just really focus and live my life.
Now, there's another question I have before we leave, because I really want to get to your cast. I think it's so important that we begin to see the fruits of your labor. How do you choose your cast? How do you decide this person is good for that particular character that I want to play every single one of them? How do you make that decision?
Well, what I do during my auditions, a lot of times, to be honest, I can just see it right away. A lot of times I can just see it right away. They bring just, when they bring life to the character, they bring more than what's on the page. When an actor brings more than what's on a page and brings it in a way that really complements what I see, or the direction that I see the character going in, that's when I know. And it's hard to, say certain characteristics or specific things, but that's pretty much what it boils down to. In this particular show, comedy was important. So, if in the audition, I really looked for you to make me laugh. And of course, you could think, that could be hard, Iris, because you already know what's written. But really, for the actors that are in the show, for the most part, when they played their roles in their audition, there was something about it that made me laugh.
Well, they were perfectly cast, and now you'll get a chance to see them. And before I even bring them all up, there's one more I want to sit right here in this chair. And this is Billy Ramsey, and some of you know him as Ism. Now, Ism is a local poet, and he was in both of your productions. He was in Second Chance. He was one of the stars, one of the main characters.
Yes, he was
in
great
Second
too.
Chance, and now he's also one of the main characters in The Love Thing.
Yes.
So when we come back, you get to meet Ism.
One thing you got to learn when you're a rancher, leave it better for the next generation. I'm Jim Ohako. I'm a rancher at a place called Shovelin Butte.
Arizona Game and Fish has been working with Jim Ohako to maintain and enhance wildlife habitat. Without the lottery, we couldn't do the work we're doing, and we couldn't make the efforts that we are right now.
This ranch is like a family member. It's just part of us. And I think through these projects that we've done, it is better. It's a win-win situation. We're improving the habitat for everything for future generations.
So, how was your day?
Oh, it was good. I'm busy planning parent-teacher conferences, so it was a little busier than usual, but it was great.
Oh, okay, great. So, how long you been teaching?
Oh, wow, about 7 years now.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you liking it, huh?
Oh, yeah. I'm always attached to the kids, The kids are great. It's great. It's great.
Don't forget to send your resume to that job opening you found online today. When you were job hunting. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
So, how long? What grade you been teaching?
5th grade.
5th grade.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
You just saw an excerpt from The Love Thing, written by Iris Huey, directed by Iris Huey, and starring Iris Huey. But I have with me today a very dear friend of mine, and who's been on the show before.
Yes.
And he is one of our local poets. He is one of our local producers. He is one of our local heroes. Oh. And that's my friend, my brother, Billy Ism Ramsey.
Thank you.
I brought you on because you have been in 2 of Iris Huey's productions. You have been in Second Chance, her film, and you've also done The Love Thing.
The Love Thing,
and you're one of the key characters in The Love Thing. Now, Iris said that you had to make her laugh, or all of her cast members had to make her laugh during the audition. What did you do to make her laugh?
I think me and Iris always have made each other laugh. We've known each other for a long time. We were actually high school classmates, and we did a film when we were about 14, 15 together.
Wow.
So, you know, we've been around each other for a long time, but, you know, we always know a way to punch it up a little bit. So I can't remember what I did, you know.
But now you've done a lot of things. I mean, you did you did Miles, the Miles Davis story.
Yeah.
And I was going to say Mad at Miles, which is our sister's book, Pearl Cleage's book. But you did a piece on Miles Davis.
Cool like that.
Cool like that. And you also did one with our other brother, the singer, Donny Hathaway.
Donny Hathaway.
So you did that, and of course your poetry around the city is just legendary. But now you kind of are moving more toward the acting thing.
Yeah.
So tell me what that is like, going from being a poet to now being an actor.
Well, actually, I was introduced to acting before I was introduced to poetry. And actually, really, my first introduction to the stage was through music, and then acting. And acting is actually what got me out of my shy, stuttering mode. And so now it's kind of almost getting back to the roots of where I really wanted to be. It's how I fell in love with the
Didn't you do something for me one time when you
Yes,
were a kid,
yes,
didn't you?
yes,
I'm like, as I
exactly.
remember.
Yes.
Yeah, so you had been at it a long time. Now, how is Iris as a director? Was it easy? Because I know some men have problems taking directions from a woman.
No, it's not. It's not
no.
hard. It's not hard. No, don't cut my part, Iris, please. But Iris is a phenomenal director, and she allows us to discover a lot of the things ourselves, and then she makes decisions as far as, okay, I like that one. You know, let's go with that one, and kind of crafts and puts it all together. I respect her as an actor, especially on film, which she's an incredible eye, and I put her up against the best in the world.
Okay, so what's your favorite? Poetry, theater, acting as a actor, or film?
Stage acting.
Stage theater.
Acting is the
okay,
the
well,
best.
you're good. You're good at all of them now. I've seen them all, and I've been impressed every time. You continuously do good work, and I'm so glad that you've hooked up with someone like Iris Huey, because she can give you some good work to continuously do. So,
definitely so.
Thank you so much. So we're going to come back, and you're going to get to see Ism doing something with one of the other cast members from The Love Thing, as well as some other fun things from Iris Huey. Come back.
Here at the Audubon Center, we connect inner city children with nature.
Before I came to Audubon, I didn't think about the environment.
I see children discovering a universe that wasn't available to them if the center wasn't here.
This place teaches you so much. If there wasn't a place like this, I think a lot of people would be missing out.
We count on the lottery to help us fund our programs for K-12 students. We need more friends like the lottery in the community.
If there is anyone that is opposed to them being married today, please speak now or forever hold your peace.
Oh, by the way, I got 3 kids from a previous marriage. You cool with that, right?
You were married?
I ain't tell you about that?
No.
Oh, she was crazy. Go ahead, Rem. Go ahead.
Wait, Walter, I can't just jump into a marriage with you right after you drop this bombshell on me?
It's a little late for you to turn back now, don't you think?
It's a little late for you to tell me you were married and have 3 kids?
Does it matter? Girl, you're supposed to love me for better or worse.
That's after we're married. I'm not obligated before that. Bye. For example, ladies, let's say your man consistently leaves his socks on the floor. Classic behavior of the male species. Why they can't just put their socks in the laundry, we'll never know. Nonetheless, there are plenty of ways to address this behavior. Option number 1, share your feelings.
Honey, I don't want to nag or anything, but I did want to share with you how I feel about you leaving your socks on the floor. It really upsets me, and I try to deal with my anger, but sometimes it gets the best of me, and I want to hurt you in your sleep. There you are, laying peacefully, and I can't stop thinking about sharp objects. But I don't say anything because I don't want to nag. Anyway, thanks for letting me share my feelings, babe. You're the best.
I have prepared for you roasted duck with a balsamic and apricot sauce, hard rice, and for dessert, tiramisu.
You made all that?
Yes, I would do anything for you.
You are so wonderful. But I can't let you do everything. You know what? I will do the dishes.
I would never let you do the dishes. What kind of man lets his wife do the dishes?
And another thing, he loves to just sit and talk.
Come. Sit. Let's talk about our feelings. You are the most amazing and beautiful woman. I feel so lucky to have you. Every time I think about it, I get so overwhelmed that I just want to cry.
You are so sweet.
Enough about me. Let's talk about you. Why don't you just tell me all of your problems? I will sit here and listen. I won't say anything that might actually help.
Isn't he amazing?
Hey, I hope you enjoyed the show today. Fatimah, Halim did a great job, and we want to thank her guests as always. And speaking of always, if you'd like to communicate with us, you can still write to us at Focus, P.O. Box 33697, Phoenix, Arizona 85067. Or if you'd like to email us, please email to us at the address that's on the screen. On behalf of Fatimah, Halim, Tony Escobar, and myself, Vernon L. Bolling, we want to thank you for joining Focus this week. Look for us next week, same time, same station, when Focus continues.